So if you think you have a fraudulent PPP loan, unbeknownst to you at the time, but you find out later that you might have, you need to seek legal counsel immediately. And by no means, I'm not an attorney, so don't view this as legal advice, but you need to seek legal counsel. You have two fronts that you can deal with here. So one is you have to deal with raising your hand, so to speak, with the government and let them know that you submitted this PPP loan. It might be fraudulent, but you didn't know it was fraudulent. You can work with counsel to have something worked out and rectify that. I would imagine that you'll be in a lot better shape if you raise your hand and let them know versus the government coming and knocking on your door asking for proofs, because they're still looking.
I love being on messy TikTok. So apparently everybody that got them PPP loans back in 2020 and they was committing fraud, yeah, they got a warrant list out, I think, and they coming for people. Like, if you fraudulently got a PPP loan back in 2020 and you know you ain't had no business, I hope you save some of that money, Bookie. You going to jail. One girl got up here talking about how she just got 9.5 years behind them PPP loans. 9.5 years is crazy. Like, girl, how much did you get, bruh? Like, you must have got you a really good chunk of change for them to give you 9.5 years.
By fake companies and cons. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray tonight in studio. Justin, federal prosecutors have hundreds of cases in Georgia alone.
Justin, all the data on who receives these loans is publicly available. We've been looking through it and looking at some of these companies that are registered with the Secretary of State and don't have an online presence. We wanted to find them and ask them a simple question. What does your company do? Turns out that wasn't so simple. I'm trying to reach Money Ain't a Problem Entertainment.
Oh, Alexa. Okay.
Is that you?
No, it isn't. He's at work.
We went to this Gwinnett County home looking for a company that received more than $22,000 in federal Paycheck Protection Program payments. We couldn't find Money Ain't a Problem Entertainment registered with the Georgia Secretary of State or active online. He received a PPP loan and we can't find any record of the business existing. So I'm just trying to understand what it is.
Oh, see, I don't know.
We dug through thousands of pages of PPP data and found that more than 553,000 PPP loans were handed out in Georgia, totaling more than $24 billion just in Georgia. But we know that tens of millions of dollars of that money here in Georgia went to fake companies trying to steal your tax dollars.
I think it's a righteous use of your federal tax dollars to go after these people.
David Estes is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia. You're sending the message here, if you cheat the American taxpayers, we're going to find you.
And we will.
He says it doesn't matter how small the dollar amount of the potential fraud.
We're going to look at every single case. Some of the smaller cases have led us to bigger cases.
This is one of those cases Estes is prosecuting. Decula resident Ashley Parker allegedly submitted more than 24 fraudulent applications for COVID relief, adding up to $2 million. Prosecutors charged she spent part of those illegal proceeds on plastic surgery, including breast augmentation and liposuction. Hi, it's Justin with Channel 2. I'm trying to reach Ashley. Hello?
Get off my porch, man, if I put something on both of y'all.
We tried to track down Parker at her Decula home. Luxury cars, a Mercedes, and a Lexus in the driveway. The person who answered the doorbell called me several names we can't say on television. Is Ashley here?
No, your mama here.
No, I don't think so. I'm looking for Ashley Parker. Mr. Smith, it's Justin Gray with WSB. It was nearly 2 years ago that I tracked down to Bronx Smith at his Gwinnett County business, Market Yourself LLC. At the time, he maintained he never stole PPP funds, as a federal indictment alleged. Did you do everything by the book?
Yeah, but
Why would they indict you?
let's not do the camera, please. That's disrespectful.
But Smith has now entered a guilty plea, and in its sentencing memorandum, the U.S. Attorney is asking for a 21-month prison term. So what about Money Ain't a Problem Entertainment? No one associated with Money Ain't a Problem is facing criminal charges, but we still can't find any signs of a business or employees earning paychecks. The woman who answered the door promised to go get the owner of Money Ain't a Problem to answer our questions. So we waited and waited.
Okay, he's not here.
We never heard back from Money Ain't a Problem, but this summer, President Biden signed bills extending the statute of limitations for pandemic-related fraud to 10 years from 5. And I'm sure a lot of these people think, hey, I got the money, I'm on my way, and you're here to say that's not.
No, that's not the case. We've got 16 different federal agencies working on this.
I just got off the phone with the lawyer. He's telling me the best options that I have are to turn myself in. Like, what did I do to deserve this?
Oh my God. If you took out PPP loan during COVID, stop and watch this video. You are in big trouble. I just went to the quietest location of Chase that I normally go to check on my investments. I was checking on my stocks, seeing how my money is doing, because, you know, you got to take care of your money, honey. You got to nurture it. And I was talking to my financial advisor, and there was just so much commotion in there. I mean, it was like insane. I was like, what's going on? This is like the quietest Chase ever. No, like no one comes here. That's why I come here, because you guys know I hate people and people give me anxiety. And he told me the feds are here. I was like, huh? Like, it's like, yeah, those people that you're looking at, they're all feds. SBA? I was like, why? He's like, oh, they just subpoenaed us. Subpoenaed you for what? He's like, they subpoenaed us for people who took up PPP loan and deposited it into their Chase account. We have to turn over their license, their account, and also like footages of when they deposited that money into their account. I was like, why now? Why are they coming for everybody now who took a PPP loan? He's like, because the economy is so bad. And the only way to turn an American economy around is free labor. And the only way free labor works is we send people to prison so they can work for free in federal prison. And so half of America is going to go to prison in the next 4 or 5 years. And they're going to be serving at least 10, 15 years in prison. Let me tell you guys, I keep telling you, do not commit fraud. Financial literacy allows you to bend the law. It allows you to twist it. It allows you to yank it around, but you never commit fraud. My dad growing up used to say to us, whenever the federal government or the government in general offers you free money, never take it. Because there's always stipulations and there's always a reason why they're offering that money. Never take it. Never take food stamps. Never take help from the government. Don't take handouts from the government ever. It's never free. Never. So I ask, like, what can people do to beat the charges? Like, what are they going to do? Is like, you need to call your accountant if you took a PPP loan and get that money, figure out a way to get that money, whatever money you took out, hand it to your accountant, have that accountant contact a lawyer on your behalf and start negotiating with the feds immediately on how you can pay it back. You have to pay that money back. Period. They're going to find out regardless if you had employees, if you used it to buy a car, if you used it to pay off debt, especially, because they will find that easily. They're going to find out whatever you use that money for. And if it's not for your employees, because that's what it was for, you will be facing federal charges. Period. For them to subpoena JP Morgan, and come in there physically to collect evidence. And remember, if the feds are in your business and they're already digging through your business, they already have the information. They already have it before they charge you. They're just looking for more evidence. They already have whatever they need over you. Anyway, I'm not saying snitch, but they're also offering rewards. If you know anyone who took a PPP loan and you want to snitch on them, the feds will give you a check. Like, this is insane. I'm like shaking. It's so crazy too, because at the time when my friends, and I remember when those two girls took out their PPP loan, one of them got $47,000, the other one got like $65,000. Neither one of them had an employee. And I had a full team during COVID, but I worked during COVID. I worked the whole time, and God blessed me. I made the most money of my life during COVID. But I remember then even they would like make fun of me, like, Nika, just take out the PPP loan. It's free money. It's free money. And I would say, nothing in America is free. Nothing in America is free. And I did not take that money. I did not take that money. Wow. It was like I was just covered. Like, everyone around me was doing it, and I refused to do it. I'm so blessed. The chances of you not facing charges if you took out that loan is slim to none, because they're not going after the politicians who took out the loan. They're not going after the top 1% that took out the loan. They need you, the poor people, to do free labor. So they're coming after you. My heart breaks for all of you, truly.
So let's talk about the PPP update. So right now, some of you will be receiving letters in the mail that receive the PPP, whether it was forgiving or not. They are adding interest to this as well. So some of you could get saying that you owe the Internal Revenue Service $100,000, $145,000. Why is this so? Because not only are they taxing the refund dollar amount that you submitted to them, but they're merging all refunds together. The biggest fraud is you cannot create a business the same day the PPP drop and show that your business made X amount of dollars in that period of time. It's impossible. So make sure you like, share, and follow. It is important to keep up with this update so you'll know what's going on.
If you obtained a PPP loan back in 2020 and you did it fraudulently, you're cooked. They are now done with investigations and they are starting to make arrests. I feel bad for you if you got a PPP loan and you did it with some scamming shit. And you want to know what's crazy? I really thought about getting one. I really thought about being on some scammer shit. I really thought about being a scammer and getting a PPP loan. I was seeing everybody get 20,000, 10,000. I'm like, shit, I need some of that. But you know what? I'm glad I didn't do it because now I'm seeing people get arrested for the shit. I didn't see that PPP warrant list, and I know somebody that got a PPP loan. And they got a letter from the IRS. And in my head, I'm like, thank God I didn't do that shit. I was this close. Man, my family was in need at the time. COVID was strong. Like, they was laying everybody off of work because of COVID. Like, I was inches away from applying for a PPP loan. And I was inches away from doing that shit on some scamming shit. They didn't charge 3 federal workers already for PPP loan fraud. And that's crazy. A federal worker getting PPP loans? Come on, man. It was cops getting PPP loans. And they was doing that shit on some scam shit. The police. I guess them federal workers and the police thought they was above the law and that the IRS wouldn't come after them for that PPP loan fraud. But I feel bad for you if you got a PPP loan and you did that shit on some scamming shit. Whew. They coming, boy. Expect a knock on the door from the police. And y'all keep y'all head up because y'all going to federal prison.
I ain't want to gossip. You ain't heard this from me. Yes, fuck you have. Y'all, them PPP loans. When I was telling y'all to hide money in the motherfucking backyard, y'all thought I was crazy. Y'all thought Janika just hate. She going through this. All that. No. My mother is a broker. She's been doing taxes for over 20 years. And my mama told me don't fuck with the PPP. She told me if I knew anybody that was doing the PPP, don't do it. My mama also know I'm a hustler and I can create documents. And she told me don't fuck with them folks in them documents or they're gonna come get me. It's 3-letter agencies and you don't fuck with a lot of those 3-letter agencies. The IRS, FBI, CIA, DEA. Do I need to keep going? You don't fuck with Uncle Sam. You don't play with that. Taxes are bullshit. Yes, they are. It's a voluntary system. You don't have, it's a voluntary system. You can be involuntary, but you got to read through the paperwork, find all these nooks and crannies and these different loopholes to get out of this, just as Donald Trump did, Elon Musk, and all of them. That's why everything that they're uncovering and all this corruption is for a bigger purpose. TikTok, this is all for entertainment purposes only. This is all my personal opinion. And you can Google all these things and look this up. But y'all thought I was playing. But Wells Fargo has been seizing folks' bank account, they direct, they debits, they deposits, all that shit, seeing what y'all spent that money on. So what y'all need to really be doing is y'all need to be going to get some of that money out and going to retaining you a lawyer if you already ain't got one and try to make a side deal with the feds because they're coming. They start with the millionaires and the billion people up to the top. They goes millions. Then you go to the 100,000 and there's Cat Williams said 1,000 ass. Even if you got $238 from a PPP loan and you didn't do what you were supposed to with it, they're gonna know. Black and white, follow the money, paper trail every fucking time. A lot of y'all don't know how to, quote unquote, y'all call some of the legit things that you can get by on far as like down payments being illegal at a car lot. You being able to have insurance already covered in your consumer contract. Going to the dealership and getting you a purchase agreement and then filing for the title before you even go to a bank or any of that. Like, yeah, I could teach y'all a thing or two or three. But y'all laughed at me when I talked about that. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, Navy, Federal, they're coming. So go get your money out now if you haven't. They're gonna lock and freeze all that shit and you gotta pay it back. You got all them BBLs and shit y'all went and got. All them Cutlass and cars and all them 4G autos y'all went and got. Y'all better go sell this shit right now. You better put it in somebody else's name. Because if your name is on it or your debit card or your bank account is linked to it, you're fucked. Even if your bank account is not linked to it. They gonna call you, ask for your employee names and all of that. So I'm trying to put y'all up on game and let y'all be a couple steps ahead. But y'all don't be want to listen. Y'all thought I was hating. Nah, the feds have a 99% conviction rate. The only person search and look up. But the feds build a case for 5 years before they come knocking at your door, ho. It's just what it is. So a lot of y'all thinking y'all done got off and y'all done skated freedom houses they coming back for. The economy.
Let me update y'all. Last year I told y'all that wire fraud carried about 25 years. They had 5 years to catch up on this wire fraud. They no longer have 5 years, they have 10. So they don't have to be in any particular hurry. Now, if you mess with more than one agency across the board, they're going to notify the other ones, get your house in order. See, when you filled out the application, that was a charge. I want to say that was 2 to 5 years, but it's been a while since I did this video. I'm not doing the research, you got to do it. But wire fraud itself, once you had that money transferred into the bank, it was 25 years. Let me tell you what they're looking for, because they finna flag your account. If you had more than one PPP come to your one address, they're going to flag you. If your income tax returns for your business do not line up with what you told the SBA, they're going to flag you. If you didn't have a business registered when you filled out that application, they're going to flag you. If you purchased anything, if you started a business, if you used that money to fund a new business, they're going to confiscate all of it. The equipment, all of it. If you own anything, get it out your fucking name. Transfer that property. Start looking for a place for your children to go, because the United States is in the business of free labor and they do not mind sending your ass to the penitentiary. They did it for the specific fact of sending you to the penitentiary, and they will build more. See, this is federal time. You will not seal these records. You got to be pardoned by the governor or the president. You done fucked up. If you have children who took this loan out, take them to see an attorney, because they're going to need it. If it's any time for a family to get together and take care of this thing right here, it's going to be now. Y'all think that this was something small. This was by design. They have people called forecasters that knew who would take the money and how they would get it. They set you up again. Y'all thought I was blowing smoke up y'all ass. He's signing bills in the law to make sure that they have an extended period of time. He done hired a special prosecutor. They firing people at the Chicago Housing Authority. 6,280 people are about to lose their housing and catch a federal charge. They can wipe their ass on their degrees to the tune of $135 million stolen from the SBA. Right now, currently, they have prosecuted about 1,000 cases, and altogether it's about $1 billion worth of PPP money. I'm going to say it again. Get your house in order, and whatever money you got in the bank, get that goddamn money out the bank. Transfer that property.
Okay, President Trump, not enough people went to jail for PPP loans for me to not try it now. Just open the floodgates one more time for half a day. I'm going to go ahead and put mine in. You can close it. We need them PPPs back, man. They still out here broke as a motherfucker, but them niggas ain't go to jail.
So, if you think you have a fraudulent PPP loan, unbeknownst to you at the time, but you find out later that you might have, you need to seek legal counsel immediately. And by no means, I'm not an attorney, so don't view this as legal advice, but you need to seek legal counsel. You have two fronts that you can deal with here. So one is you have to deal with raising your hand, so to speak, with the government and let them know that you submitted this PPP loan. It might be fraudulent, but you didn't know it was fraudulent. You can work with counsel to have something worked out and rectify that. I would imagine that you'll be in a lot better shape if you raise your hand and let them know versus the government coming and knocking on your door asking for proofs, because they're still looking.
Did you know while millions of Americans struggled during the pandemic, the people in Congress who own businesses took out PPP loans? And now I'm going to give you a detailed report. This is going to be my series on Congress and what kind of loans they took out. So let's start with Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, that happy, fun-loving woman. She took out a lot of money. She makes $174,000 a year. So that's what she makes. So she takes home $3,000 and something every week before taxes. She took out so many loans. I couldn't even write them all down. Each in increments of $20,000. And she waited a couple days, do another $10,000. It was like crazy. Her family owns a construction company that makes anywhere between $1 and $10 million a year. But she needed this money. She just had to have it. All right. We got Matt Gaetz. Oh, he's another one. So he took out loans for his business, family business, $476,000. That's almost $500,000. Don't get that. He says his dental business makes $170K a year, and he needed $476,000. Okay, and he makes $174,000. Just want to get that straight. Greg Pence only took out $79,000 for his family business. Oh, here's a good one. Vern Buchanan. He took out, are you all ready? $2.8 million for his car dealership. That makes, are you ready? Over $1 billion a year. He has 18 car dealerships. I don't know. I'm putting the link for the ProPublica PPP loan tracker in the comments. Check it out. It's just kind of fun to know, like, who are these people? Why are they taking this money? And do they really need it? It's just a bunch of malarkey. Let's see. Tracker will be down in the comments. Run some names in there. Run your name in there. Did you take out a loan? Were you honest?